part two of reacting to the making of Rocky Road, the director's cut. Let's watch it. Like now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Stallone Kid. Today we will continue reacting to the making of Rocky for the director's cut of Rocky vs. Drago. I was going to do the first 30 minutes, but I only could do 10 minutes for part one because my laptop died. Don't worry, I got the laptop charger plugged in. We're good to go. So I'm actually reacting to 40 minutes of this. I'm super excited. Like I said, I haven't seen this song. I thought, why not react to it? You know, there's no Stallone news right now, so why not? But don't worry, I have some cool videos to come. But anyway, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to continue watching wherever we left off. Make sure to watch part one if you've not seen this. It'll be on my channel. Check it out. Let's go. All right, here we are. We're starting where we left off. Let me get a quick recap. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Right. All right, we're good. Got it.
She actually would. In this movie, we create a lot of guilt, real guilt. I didn't think the guilt was as profound. It's his fault. He allowed him to fight the guy he was supposed to fight.
When you were writing the script, was that the theme that was prominent in your head, guilt?
Not as much. Not as profound. I thought it would be. I was thinking more of just a tale, like a great adventure. And I didn't think of the ramifications, like, okay, he dies. It's like the death of a legend, like Muhammad Ali. It's like, it has profound repercussions. And then the guilt that you allowed it to do, and then you realize what burden it put on his life, which is eventually seen in Creed. You know, it just had long-term repercussions. I never thought like that. I've never seen a power take so much. Before Rocky.
Throw the towel. Gotta love that meme. It's an awesome meme. I'm actually kind of sad that then it have throw the towel inside the Rocky 4 director's cut. I was watching it in theater. I was like, oh, I'm up in here, throw the towel. Didn't play it. It's like, but I don't know. It was awesome. All right.
He could have stopped the fight and didn't. This time he's dropping the towel, but that punch hits at the same time. So as the towel drops, everything drops, his life drops. He's just a second late.
I came to win.
No, not the other reading's better.
And then the lesson is, I cannot be defeated. Ready? Action. I cannot be defeated.
Good. Also,
I'd like to thank my manager, my agent, and all the people that supported me.
I'd like to thank the people that raised me, the people that introduced me to herring and other Swedish health foods. I'd like to thank my Viking ancestors for teaching me how to brave the cold.
Soon, the whole world will know my name. Drago. Drago.
Hallelujah.
Soon, the whole world will know my name. Drago. Drago.
What started out as a joke has turned out to be a confession.
I love that line.
Rocky 4. Well, winding down.
Can you imagine me in the elevator with Stallone? I don't even know if I would say anything. I'd be so nervous. Well, I would have to say something. I don't even know what I would do in that little time. It'd be crazy. Little time would probably be the best moment of my life. That'd be awesome.
Every time I go in there, I think we're done. We're not done. It's almost like panning for gold. Yeah. Let's go back for one more nugget. Then you realize you find one, then you get maybe 2 nuggets, maybe 3 nuggets. Before you know it, you're digging a new mine. So eventually you just have to go pull the plug. But the truth is, in art, the plug is never pulled. Okay. I think the biggest problem I had as a younger filmmaker was lack of patience and confidence in extending the moment. I was always very cognizant, okay, the audience is going to get bored, jump ahead. Instead of giving them the benefit of the doubt and let the emotion sink in, I would rush right through it. And now I completely see the fallibility and all that. It's very frustrating. It really is. That's why I'm so happy to get a shot at this. It's like, imagine getting a shot to re-edit your life. It's like go back and do things that you always wanted to do. You know, obviously you can't do that with everything, but that's the beauty of film. You can go back and revisit your reality. That's so much better than what was in the film. But you gotta milk it.
Yeah, let me cut it in and then.
Yeah. Because in the original it's just cut too short, and I guess I was in a hurry that day. Oh no! Oh my God! No.
You can't win!
Yeah, just a couple frames off the head. You can't go, please. You can't win. Wow. It's not a delayed reaction.
How strong it is! You can't win!
Perfect. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
All right, let me take this out.
Get rid of the old stuff.
Keep going on this.
Yeah. Keep going until you turn. Yeah, and right there, that's where you go to Adrian, okay? And what we already have. Oh, Adrian, there you go.
That was incredible right there. That was incredible.
Wow.
I wonder what it's like to be Stallone watching your own movies. I mean, is it the same how we watch Rocky? I would assume it is, but you know, that's him up there. You know, you can go recall that moment where he was filming that. I don't know if I ever get a chance to talk to him. Like I said, the dream of this channel is to one day interview him on this channel. That would be the peak right there. But you know, you never say no. You never know what can happen. We'll watch up tomorrow on here.
There's so much footage. It's very hard to wrap your head around. You know, with 1,000,000 feet of fighting, this and that. So I guess I didn't peruse all this stuff in depth, and now I see. I went, oh, it was all there.
So you've never seen this take
Never.
since you shot it?
I've never seen it since 1985. I thought, how do we make this so different? There's not much more I can add to his backstory, but I can visually take him in a different direction and use a different sound and a different cutting pattern, which I caught a lot of shit for.
What do you mean?
Well, because it was at the height of MTV, and they considered this a 90-minute video.
When some reviews took you to task for what you just said, what was that like?
If you don't switch up, perhaps you're just going over the same ground. So I thought, okay, I'm going to gamble. Let's surround him with more visual and music and this constant bombardment of the senses, which you cannot do with drama. If you're doing traditional drama, you walk in the door, you say the lines, you walk out the door, as opposed to montage where you're just hitting them with 2.5-second cuts. So you're bombarding the senses. There's synaptic overload. That's why montage is so effective. He's being exploited and treated like a non-human, right? For totalitarianism, and Rocky is on the other end. He's sacrificing himself. And this guy here, I don't know if he's sensing something in Rocky that's different. There's no fear.
Hold on, I'm going to send a message real quick. Canceled. Just canceling something. All right, let's continue.
There's no this, but it's a different animal. So as opposed to Apollo Creed, which he didn't have any feelings for, he was just an object to destroy. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Because by the end of this fight, they both changed. Whereas Apollo dies because he goes, we can't change. Of course, we have to adapt or cease to exist. So that's the difference. And the more I can mine out of this stuff, the more the audience is going to take away something besides just a fight. They're going to take away, we went through a journey.
Have Drago speak for himself?
Yes.
Yes, well.
Well, I have nothing to say.
Ooh.
Okay, now.
Hey,
Drone?
well, it looks like he has something to say, but he's not allowed to say it. I have nothing to say I have nothing to say.
Have Drago speak for
We know
himself?
he's lying.
Yes.
Yes, well.
We know-
Well,
Dolph, you owe me.
nothing to say.
Hey, we don't keep our people behind a wall with machine guns. Who are you? Who am I? I'm the unsilent majority. Big mouth.
You can't make this thing up. Why
What was that? I know it's a hard line. I'm the unsilent majority. Yeah.
Robert Young.
I can't even keep a straight face. Let's try that again. That's funny. You never know what you're going to get with Paulie.
That's cool.
The original idea started out with Joe Louis when he was fighting Max Schmeling. Max Schmeling was considered a tool for Hitler. So he comes over, and Joe Louis, considered the greatest heavyweight, was beaten to a pulp. Hitler used this as propaganda. See, we are the master race. We came over and destroyed Joe Louis. And Joe Louis now had this entire weight and this humiliation of losing. It wasn't just him. America lost to Hitler. So he just brooded and trained, and then they had the rematch. And it was literally two countries coming to war. And Joe Louis goes out and literally beats him to a pulp in the first round. Makes him squeal.
That's amazing. Wow. That's awesome motivation. That's an awesome story. I'm so happy you chose that story. The whole concept amazing. And just to realize it's based off a true story. Pretty cool. Wow. Not like based off a true story. It's more adapted from this, and that's really cool because I like that concept. It's awesome.
Crushes him. Hitler loses his mind, basically bans Max Schmeling, like you're persona non grata, and America goes on to regain its status. Democracy prevails. He held the title for 12 and a half years. He's considered like the greatest heavyweight ever. So it was a big deal. I said, why don't I do that today? History repeats itself. So here you have Rocky, who's Joe Louis. And then you have this guy, Max Schmeling, from the Super Race. And the exact same thing happens.
And this movie was released around the Clone War. So this must have been huge at the time. Watching this movie now might mean that much, but this is around the Clone War. I believe this is around the Cold War. I said Clone War. Gosh, I'm watching too much Star Wars. Cold War. Oh my gosh. Must have been wild. So, yeah, this movie was huge. I'm pretty sure his biggest movie. Actually, pretty sure his Rambo 2 was his biggest movie. Is either Rambo 2 or Rocky 4. If you look at the top 5 biggest movies in 1985, I believe Rambo 2's at number 2, and number 3's at Rocky 4. I'm pretty sure number 1 was Back to the Future, but they're like really up there. So 1985 was a great year for Stallone.
How many movies did you do with Bill Butler, who was the cinematographer?
4 or 5.
Quite a acclaimed guy, right? Jaws.
He's a great guy. You know, it's my responsibility to really set it up. It's not his. You know, guys are trained in a traditional fashion, but boxing is sloppy and awkward and rough and chaotic. It's not structured. This is not structured. Look at it. I'm over here. Why is Tony Burton over there? The other guy's leaning against the ropes. It's deconstructed, which makes it real. The first time they used
I like that. It's amazing.
canvas with stars and it's red, white, and blue, and it started taking on a theme. Before that, fights weren't thematic. So if you looked at fights from the 30s to the early 70s, it's literally the same ring, black ropes, gray canvas. So I thought each fight with Rocky would take on a theme. This is a very futuristic fight, at least at that time. Look at us. We're in space. We're technological. We're biological. We're going to take you into a world of the future. Your fighter is from a world of the past. No one has white ropes like that. No one has Russian insignias over the ring. It's very Star Warian. I wrapped the post with mylar, so it looks like chrome and mirror. It's just way over the top because it was like a political rally.
So when you're putting smoke in this, which is very, very different to put so much smoke, did you think of people might criticize you for that, or?
Oh yeah, but it's not a fight. It's a statement, a recruiting method. It's like, I'm going to show you that we are better than you. We're smarter than you. We're cooler than you. We're more modern than you. They're using Drago as a recruiting tool for how far their society is ahead.
It's really a thing. This thing, someone say, well, Rocky IV director was a little over the top, wasn't too realistic. He was taken to the next level, and he took it to an amazing level. You know, this Drago was supposed to be a fighter from the future, ahead of his time. Which I know that's not actually true, but he was like the best. Like literally the best. Like almost like a cyborg made in a lab. Like he was perfect. And he was huge. And the Russians, he was literally like a machine. And having that guy versus Rocky Balboa is awesome. I don't care if people say, oh, it's not realistic. It's awesome. All right. Say what you want to say about Stallone and his take he did with the original Rocky 4. You cannot lie, it's not awesome. And yes, some would say the director's cut. I do believe he could have took different directions, but it might have been not as awesome. So the director for director's cut I thought was amazing. I still thought just as awesome as Rocky 4. I still think Rocky 4, the original, I like more than the director's cut. I love the director's cut, but the Rocky 4, that whole movie just printed into my brain, you know, like a tattoo in my brain, you know, and I just can't replace it with that one. I just can't. So, but I love them both, and I thought he took a really amazing take on this film. I made a review on it, you can check it out. So, I love the director's cut, and he brought a lot of new concepts, and he kind of cut out that cheesy stuff too. Which I still love the cheesy stuff. I feel like it fits the Rocky 4 film, but I thought he did an amazing job, and to re-edit a film is not easy. So I love this film, but just how much of a classic Rocky 4 is, I might have to go with it. But this film is a lot more serious, and I think a lot more well handed out, and where he directs some sort of stuff in the director's cut. So I love director's cut. It was awesome. And I'm loving watching the making of it because I had never seen this. It's super interesting.
But Drago has no soul.
Wow.
They eliminated his soul. He doesn't want a soul. They didn't want him to have a soul. He's a machine. But as you know, machines break down. And that's what we see in this film here. We see literally he regains.
They killed his soul. That's just amazing. I mean, that's not amazing. Well, that's not evil. That was just really interesting. That really big concept. And seeing his character in Creed 2, really him getting back his soul. Because he's not a machine. You see that at the end of in Creed 2, he's not a machine, he's a human. A lot of people think he's just a monster, which he is a machine in this movie. They made him into like a machine to just obey, you know. But I think in this director's cut, he took an interesting take where he showed some human into him at the end, which I'm sure he'll talk about when we get there. So I should probably stop pausing and interrupting. I'm sorry. Let's continue.
A soul. He becomes a human. And how does he become human? He has to experience serious pain. He's never been hurt. When Rocky introduces him to mortality, wow, I can be cut. I can be hurt. They told me I was impervious. I'm not. I'm human. I'm a man and I'm vulnerable.
Did you feel all this when you were writing it?
Yeah,
you were aware of
I did. I mean, obviously I pontificate and vocalize a lot more now, but that's the crux of the whole thing.
It's a non-sanctioned fight. This is not for the title. The American Boxing Commission have not sanctioned this bout.
And the British voice, and there's no British people in the movie, so someone decided, I guess when I was in lunch, to add a bit British commentator.
who would decide that?
I don't know. They've probably been deported by now.
Well, when would this be put in post-production or during production?
This would have been done in 1985.
While you were shooting or after?
After.
And what's a loop group?
Behind my back.
Okay, what exactly is a loop group?
Loop group comes in and they make noise in the background and they kind of give it some vitality, but no one asked them to do a blow-by-blow description of the fight.
Well, you're mixing the movie. You must have heard him.
I did not.
This is not in the movie?
It is in a movie, but I'm claiming amnesia. Sorry. I'm going on the amnesia vote. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, that's a 2025 right there. Nice cut. If I ever go around this area, I'm gonna try to check out this building. That looks awesome. I'm sure you can feel the Rocky energy in there. I bet you can. I'm pretty sure this is, like you said, this is where they premiered Rocky back in 1975, 76. Well, I'm pretty sure they premiered in 75. Like a special thing. I don't even know how that stuff works. 76 when it came out, but you know what I mean.
With all the boxing movies made before Rocky, what did they get wrong?
Our perception of boxing is through TV, and it's always filmed from one side. They never cross angles. In movies, they start jumping around. Second of all, they go inside the ring. They're never inside the ring. And that's a specific moment where you're saying things. So there's always obstruction through the ropes. There's always a foreground. And very few people know how to throw a punch. So when they throw, it's arms, and you realize they're not trying to hurt each other, rather than actually practicing so they can swing so hard and miss by this much. But that takes months. One of the worst crimes is you always cast fighters that fight the same way, the same styles. When I got an opponent, they're radically different, and usually they're more powerful. There's a lot of mathematics that go into boxing. I've always said people, they look at boxing films, it's just the hardest film in the world to make. The dramatics have to be worthwhile to make you give a damn about the movie. And second of all, the fight itself is a whole other movie with no dialogue. The key is the cutaway. What are you fighting for? And that's all I got to say about that.
I love the dialogue in the scene. The dialogue in the scene of I'm not well aware of the actor, but Drago's trainer or not, or promoter. Love the dialogue in the scene. I thought it was well done acted, well done written. I thought it was a good motivation to Rocky. It makes you want them to compete. You want them to get, beaten anymore. And also gives a point of view where they're coming from. So I thought it was great. And I know I keep pausing. I should probably just shut up and watch it. All right, continue. I know. Well, that's it. I love how Paulie's so patriotic. You can just see him, man. He's like really patriotic, and that's awesome. I'm pretty sure even in Rocky 4, when he's walking to his when they get to that cabin in Russia, he has like a "Don't Tread on Me" jacket. Like you can tell he's really patriotic. So even when they're playing the whole Russian anthem, he's like holding the American flag. Yeah. So Paulie, because I'm pretty sure Paulie actually was in the military. You can see inside the house with his military, like a photo of him in the military, which the actor Burt Young, I'm pretty sure he was in the military. So I guess that would make sense. So I thought I'd point that out real quick, and I'll be done. I'll just watch it.
Tell me a little bit about Michael Pataki, who plays that Russian. He's such a significant part of this movie.
Yes.
Well, I don't think he's Russian, but he's a great character actor who mastered accents. He just came in there and tore it up, and I thought he was the real deal. I thought he was from Siberia, Moscow. He just was a complete surprise and embraced everything and just dominated so much. I kept writing more and more dialogue for him. So he just killed it.
Whatever he hits, he destroys.
There's one thing that look one way, but when you have the pipes, and he has the pipes, it's a sound, and he had the right sound.
You developed your voice, didn't you?
My voice is a product of a lot of things. I was born in a charity ward, so we didn't have a lot of money, so they killed the nerve here. And that's why my mouth is crooked on one side, and my voice is very, very deep. I have to keep it up. And I slur, because, a portion of my tongue doesn't form exact vowel sounds, especially THs. But it turned out to be a blessing. It made it very, very unique.
But you worked on your speech impediment in
I
college.
tried to work on it as much as possible. I worked on it to the point where I became somewhat intelligible, but it would never be crystal clear. I would never be doing narrations for nature documentaries. But it's perfect for the kind of characters I played.
Did it inhibit you when you were starting out as an actor to have this?
Yeah. I was always basically castigated or just removed. What'd you say? You're unintelligible. I remember my first reviews on Rocky. They said I sounded like an old mafioso pallbearer.
Wow.
Something like that. It doesn't bother me anymore. I realize it's there. I can't do anything about it. It's different. It just sounds like me.
I never found anything wrong with it. Never did. I just think it's just another person. And, even if I did, I think that's interesting. We don't want every actor to be the same, or even every person. We need some people that are different. So, and that stuff does not affect his acting ability at all. He's an amazing actor, really one of the best actors. People think he's just like, he's just an action hero. He can do action stuff. You have to understand, Sylvester Stallone is an amazing actor, brilliant. He got nominated for an Oscar, and he should have won it. Got a Golden Globe, but didn't get the Oscars. Golden Globe was better than the Oscars, I guess, because that was. And he was like competing with Tom Hardy. The 2015 was an amazing year. So, yeah.
It sounds like me, and I don't sound like other people. So, you know what? All's well that ends well. What are you going to do with all this stuff?
I want an editor to edit it.
Why can't you cut it yourself?
Those suckers must be good, man. Meant to try. I'm still loving them.
Because I'm not that technically assured to do all the editing I want to do.
I can do it.
No, you can't. You can't do what I want to do.
Is it that complicated?
Very complicated.
Well, I wasn't expecting a documentary on an iPhone in a little office doing a movie that's 35 years old that because of this particular COVID season, there was something to do, and it turns out you end up doing a documentary on it. Okay, well, good. Good luck with that.
Hey, Stallone, he's doing a great job. I'm reacting to it. And shot on an iPhone. I got an iPhone right here. I could have shot this. That sounded weird, like I'm about to kill something. No, I could have recorded this. All right, I'll stop. Wow, it's awesome. Oh, that painting. That's from Rocky 3, I'm quite sure. Wow, look at all these figures. Oh, man, that would be a dream to have. I only have one Rocky action figure. Oh, wow. Do it yourself. Film wins an Oscar. Oh, yeah, that's the original news. Oh, that's awesome. I don't know why the audio cut out. That is awesome, too. That is so sick. This Sly's house or Rocky 2? That's Rocky 2? Oh, yeah.
This is a treatment for the upcoming film entitled Rocky 4. Isn't that funny? The film opens up exactly where Rocky 3 left off with Apollo and
Oh my gosh, it's Rocky 4 script.
Rocky in the gym. They're about to spar one another, exchanging one-liners. Finally, they both unleash powerful punches at the same moment, and both of them go back against the...
Sorry, I was mailbox. They got their own mailbox in his house. Dude, if I get to go slide the house, I would literally just pass out seeing all this. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
ropes fall down. In the film, of course, I decided not to get punched and fall against the ropes and fall down, and we froze it. And Apollo's supposed to say, "Did that hurt you as much as it hurt me?" And Rocky goes, "Absolutely." And Apollo goes, "We'll just say it's a tie, okay?" That's the way it was supposed to go down, but
I like that ending. I like that.
it didn't. Apollo sees once and for all that out of sight, out of mind, and in a fury jumps into a taxi with Rocky and heads to the Russians' training camp. Never did that, but it gives you an idea of how much a movie transitions
Judge Dredd, let's go.
during the writing. In the taxi, Apollo and I exchange heated words about the ideologies and the philosophies and why Apollo does not want to be remembered as just a punk, a boxer. He wants to be remembered as a symbol, not just a professional punching bag, as he says. He wants to make a political statement. Oh, okay. Forgot about that. He wants to be an earth shaker, to be the first one to do.
What? Stone, you're going too wild. That's the Rocky statue. I know it's not the real one because the real one's in Philadelphia, but that one. If I could just buy the Rocky statue, it means a replica. I'd marry it. I just would.
Defeat a Russian in a sort of undeclared war. This is the choreography, and so you write it out like music. Jabs, counter, so on, so forth. And you have to memorize those.
Can't wait to have the Rocky 4 script just lying around there. Like, is that like a copy of that? Literally the original one. And look at that. 2 Oscars right there. Sitting right there. Just two Oscars in the house. Just like a decoration. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. There's the Golden Globe. I'm not sure what that award is. I'm sorry. Stallone, do a house tour. I'll die for that video. I'll be like, yes.
What did you find today?
I found
Oh my gosh, this painting is so good. All right, I'm sorry.
gold in an editing room. Drago was very simplistic. He was there, he was a wrecking machine, he was basically a robot, and he's coming across these moments of his where he tries to express himself, and I didn't put that in the original cut because you feel for him. It's like he's freed himself, but also he's going to end up a tragic figure. Oh, did you switch it? This right here? Oh, my God. 17, 18, 19, 21, 23 unanswered questions.
Going back to resume filming Samaritan next week?
Yeah, about 2 days.
Let's go film Samaritan in 2020. Or it might be 2021 at the time. So as you guys know, Samaritan is coming. It's his new superhero film. I made a video about it. Check it out. It's me explaining what to expect. So check it out if you're excited for this new superhero Stallone film. It'll be coming in August this year.
And what's that like? Pandemic.
Should be a lot of work. It's a pain in the ass. I was tested today. I have to be tested on Monday. Then as soon as I land, I have to be tested again.
Oh my gosh.
And then tested the next day.
Oh my god.
What's the test like?
Well, it's down the throat. Eventually you feel like a sword swallow.
How long does it take to get the results?
Well, now they're just a couple hours.
Great.
It's going to be a pain in the ass. The main thing is time. The studio's not going to go an hour over. Already the studio's lost millions and millions of dollars. Every studio has. So there's no mood for any sort of insecure acting or directing or producing or anything. You better just go in there and get what you need and get out and forget all the frills. Okay.
I'll be back.
He goes in there with a neutral, sometimes a defeatist attitude, and he has to overcome it. So through his training, he starts to gain a little bit of momentum and self-confidence, but he still goes in there knowing it's 50-50. He never goes in with confidence, I'm going to do this. The only time I ever wrote that.
No, that's 100% true, because whenever he goes in, probably always says, or somebody says, like, make sure you beat him or like knock the guy's teeth out. He always never says, I will. He always says, I'll try. He always says that. He always says, I'll try. I think that's the humble in him. Or something. Or just him knowing that there's always a chance. Or I don't even know. I think it's more of the humbleness. But we'll see what Sly says.
That was in Rocky 3. When he was winning and winning and winning, we find out they're all easy fights. This one goes, oh, maybe I can't win. So the audience now is on board with, because that's life. This was shot in Canada. Believe it or not, this is where they have rodeos. In the last Rocky Balboa, it was 12,000 people. And here is probably 2,000. And it looks like a lot more. It's just the way it's distributed. You see the backlighting. The audience is supposed to be mysterious. I don't want to see them in like their bright makeup. They're supposed to be kind of like in judgment of things. And this audience is definitely looks mysterious.
This is not for the title. The American Boxing Commission have not sanctioned this bout.
Rocky, we got you!
Hey, Rocky, we got you. Well, I don't understand where these voices from hell are coming from.
Oh, man.
Was that in the movie?
Unfortunately, it is in the movie, but it was. It won't be now. Hey, Rocky, we got you. Hey, Drago, nice hair. Got you. Okay, that's got to go.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, my God.
Poor Stallone, he's struggling, man.
Lose this. Lose that. And here we go. Keep going. This is where I'm going to go from. So I hit him. You cut around to this. And you see me then shuffling. That's great. Oh,
And now this means more because you didn't see it before.
that's what it looked like. Drago.
You want to try cutting to Drago's corner or the crowd?
Well, it's first it would be the crowd. Ones like
Yeah.
those are just waving, and it's Drago kind of a thing. So let's see how that cuts. I don't like those close-ups inside the car. They're just too vain. That's much better.
So you think you were vain back then in terms of these shots?
There was an abundance of that. So every time you see the extreme close-up, you put in something like this, okay? Oh my God. Oh, God.
Now, when you're directing yourself, was anyone giving you feedback?
No. If I'm directing, I'm thinking, how am I going to cut this scene before I cut it? So I'll sometimes start with the close-up on them because I know they're going to give it much more. And when I get to the wide shots, I'll work backwards. You have to know what kind of actor you're working with. Some guys, they get more intense with every take, and some get worse. I don't like doing a lot of takes. Anything over 3 takes, you're not prepared.
Really?
I think so. Unless it's an accident, it's a lighting problem, the wind kicks up, someone blows their lines, but people shouldn't blow their lines 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Do you give everything on your first take?
Yeah.
Well, you do. Still awesome. All right, we hit 40 minutes. All right, we'll finish. We'll get down to 50, 60. We'll get down to 110 for our next video, and then we'll wrap it up on our next one. So 2 more parts. So we have 4-part series. But yeah, 40-minute video, guys. It was fun. I'm really enjoying this. So next episode, I'll continue it. And yeah, thank you all for joining. Make sure next Saturday or this Saturday, we will have our Stallone Network episode 2, a broadcast where I just talk about Stallone. All sorts of stuff, news, updates, just Stallone in general. I might have some guests on. If you guys are a Stallone fan, you want to come on here and talk to me about Stallone, make sure to text me on Instagram, on the Stallone Kid on Instagram. But anyway, guys, this was fun. I'll see you guys next time, and always remember, guys, keep punching.